Here's your wrestling news for October 4th, 2025. Your headlines for today include Paul Heyman plants seeds of betrayal on SmackDown, WWE's big direction for Orton and Rhodes exposed, WWE Backstage panic as top babyface champion gets booed, why WWE's SmackDown stream cut off multiple times, concern grows as two SmackDown stars remain missing for weeks, mystery over Tony D'Angelo's NXT disappearance is finally solved, tag team crumbles on SmackDown in stunning split, SmackDown drops big tease for upcoming NXT call-ups, WWE wrestler sidelined for 6 months following serious injury, and more. Cody Rhodes opened SmackDown with a statement before he even spoke. The undisputed WWE champion walked out wearing his crown jewel ring from last year, a subtle reminder of who won the inaugural crown jewel championship. The American Nightmare only got about 10 seconds on the mic before Paul Heyman arrived, flanked by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. But before things could escalate, Randy Orton made his entrance to provide backup. Wasting no time, Heyman targeted their alliance, telling Orton that if the Vision won, either Orton himself would be pinned, casting doubt on his value as Cody's ally, or Cody would be pinned, exposing weakness in the undisputed champion. He went further, declaring it was prophecy that their friendship could not last. The tension was impossible to ignore. Orton's eyes drifted to Cody's championship belt, while Cody kept his focus locked on Orton. Later in the night, Orton tried to dismiss Heyman's comments, but once again, his gaze lingered on the WWE title, leaving fans to wonder how much of the prophecy had already sunk in. The main event paired Orton and Rhodes against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. The babyfaces held control until Seth Rollins interfered, dropping Orton with a stomp while Heyman distracted the referee. Reed followed with the tsunami to score the win. Just as Heyman predicted, doubt and defeat now surrounded Cody and Orton's partnership. What followed only deepened the intrigue. With Cody taken out earlier by Breaker, Rollins tried to launch another attack after the bell. Heyman stopped him, ordering the Bronze not to intervene. Rollins ignored the warning, went after Cody anyway, and was left laid out by a crossroads to close the show. Heyman's refusal to let the Bronze help is a telling sign. WWE appears to be steering toward Rollins being ousted from the Vision, with Brock Lesnar likely sliding into the stable alongside Heyman. That move would naturally shift Rollins back into a babyface role. Meanwhile, Orton's story is heading in the opposite direction. His fixation on Cody's championship and the repeated hints on SmackDown strongly suggest a heel turn is coming, and with it, a showdown between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton feels inevitable. Do you think WWE is about to pull the trigger on Orton's heel turn, or is Heyman's manipulation clouding the real story? And if Rollins is replaced by Lesnar, is this the start of a major babyface run for the Visionary? Share your thoughts in the comments. SmackDown added another layer of drama this week when The Miz confronted Carmelo Hayes backstage. Still bitter over last week's loss, Miz accused Hayes of standing by and letting him get pinned without lifting a finger to stop it. Hayes didn't deny it. Instead, he made it clear he was done carrying anyone else's weight, telling Miz that he's on his own now. The breakup left Miz fuming, and commentary quickly confirmed what fans were already thinking: their partnership is officially over. That tension carried over into the United States Championship Open Challenge later in the night. Hayes came out with a promo declaring he no longer had anyone holding him back, setting the stage for his big moment. But before he could even make it to the ring, Miz blindsided him with a skull-crushing finale, payback for being dumped earlier in the show. The attack left Hayes unable to continue, and Aleister Black stepped in to take his spot. What followed was a hard-hitting clash between two former NXT champions. Black and Sami Zayn opened with crisp takedowns and stiff strikes, each looking to set the tone. The Dutch Destroyer dominated early with vicious kicks, but the champion roared back as the match wore on. Just when it seemed like Black was closing in, Damian Priest appeared at ringside. His distraction gave Zayn the opening to hit the Helluva Kick and retain his title. The story didn't end there. Priest put an exclamation mark on the night by clearing off the announce table and driving Black through it with a razor's edge. Damian Priest confirmed later in the night that he will face Aleister Black in a last man standing match next week, setting the stage for a brutal showdown. However, the real shock came just moments before that announcement when Black pushed Kit Wilson, who was seated in a wheelchair. The controversial visual immediately drew backlash online, with many questioning whether WWE had gone too far by presenting the segment in this manner. Sami Zayn once again deserves credit for proving he can adapt to anyone's style and elevate the match, but the real takeaway is Priest and Black. With the brutality escalating week by week, many are already asking, should WWE have saved this last man standing match for Crown Jewel instead of giving it away on SmackDown? Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Tiffany Stratton's rise on the main roster has been nothing short of meteoric. After winning the Money in the Bank ladder match and cashing in to become WWE Women's Champion, the Buff Barbie has remained undefeated in singles competition throughout 2025. Now her next test comes at Crown Jewel, where she's set to face Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer in a high-stakes showdown. On SmackDown, the two champions came face-to-face for the official contract signing. Both delivered quick promos, signed the deal, and for a moment it seemed like the segment would end without incident, until Julia and Kiana James crashed the scene. The two blindsided Stratton in the aisle before extending an offer to Vaquer, proposing an alliance. Tiffany fought back by attacking Kiana, but Julia managed to slip away untouched. All signs now point toward a tag team clash next week as a prelude to the Premium Live event. But the real talking point wasn't the attack, it was the reaction Tiffany Stratton received. In a surprising twist, the live crowd actually booed her during her promo. According to Sportskeeda Wrestling, those boos caught WWE officials in Gorilla and Backstage completely off guard. While the production team later edited out the negative reaction for broadcast, fans inside the arena saw it and made sure word got out. Why the sudden turn on Tiffany? Well, it's unclear if this was just a one-time reaction or if fans are genuinely cooling on her character. Either way, the timing couldn't be more intriguing as Stratton heads into one of the biggest matches of her career. Do you think the crowd is starting to turn on Tiffany Stratton, or was this just an isolated reaction? Share your take in the comments below. Tony D'Angelo's absence from WWE NXT has become one of the more puzzling storylines of the year. The Don of NXT hasn't been seen on television since July, leaving fans to question whether he's preparing for a big return or if something more serious is happening behind the scenes. His last appearance came on the July 29th episode of NXT in a pre-taped segment where he dramatically retired his Don persona, only to be confronted by a shadowy figure whose identity was never revealed to the audience. The cryptic tease suggested a new chapter was on the horizon, but nothing's materialized since. In mid-August, PW Insider reported that WWE was planning a main roster call-up for Tony D, but those plans appear to have stalled. Since then, there's been radio silence. No injury reports, no storyline updates, and no official word from WWE. For someone who had been a key part of NXT programming, the sudden disappearance is unusual. Now, thankfully, there's some clarity. Brian Alvarez reported that Tony D'Angelo personally requested time off, and it has nothing to do with health issues or WWE Creative running out of ideas for him. At this point, there's no official return date, nor is it clear whether he'll re-emerge in NXT or make the jump to the main roster when he does resurface. What is certain is that the silence around the Don has only fueled speculation. Do you think Tony D'Angelo should return as the leader of NXT's family, or is it time for him to test the waters on Raw or SmackDown? Ridge Holland's latest setback has officially been confirmed to be a long one. As we reported earlier this week, Holland revealed he broke his foot during his match against Moose and would be undergoing Lisfranc surgery on October 3rd. Now, according to PW Insider, the timetable is even more serious than expected. Holland is projected to be out of action for at least 6 months, possibly longer depending on how his recovery progresses. For a star who's been fighting to cement his place on WWE programming, this injury couldn't have come at a worse time. With Holland sidelined well into 2026, the question becomes whether WWE will hold his spot or if he'll have to battle his way back into the spotlight all over again. Chelsea Green's run has been defined by her struggles to secure meaningful victories, and the latest setback came with even more complications. Her faction, the Secret Hervis, has been on shaky ground ever since Piper Niven's career-threatening injury left Alba Fire as her lone ally. Expanding the group has been one of Green's biggest priorities, but the effort has not gone smoothly. On SmackDown, Green tried to extend an invitation to Zarya and Sol Ruca. Both women turned her down, and the segment was marred by repeated technical issues on WWE's end. The broadcast glitched several times, with the screen cutting to black and green while the audio dropped out completely. The timing couldn't have been worse, as fans missed key parts of Green's pitch to bring the two rising stars into her fold. The moment only grew more chaotic when Nick Aldis stepped in and booked a tag team match, Chelsea Green and Alba Fire versus Zarya and Sol Ruca. The decision left Green frustrated, as her original intent was to recruit, not to fight. To make matters worse, the glitches didn't stop there. When Green made her entrance, the stream cut again, leaving the broadcast with no audio for several seconds. Things only stabilized once the match actually began. Inside the ring, Alba Fire opened against Zarya in a physical exchange. Zarya managed to take control early, trapping Fire in the corner with a head hold submission before following up with a flying clothesline. When Green tagged in, she looked hesitant but still went after her opponent with determination. She nearly secured the finish, but Sol Ruca countered at the last second and landed the Soul Snatcher, earning the pinfall victory for her team. The match was short but effective, giving the duo a proper introduction to the SmackDown audience while also promoting their upcoming appearance on Tuesday's NXT Showdown. The victory also positioned them as potential contenders for the women's tag team titles. After the match, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss were asked about Zarya and Ruca, and the champions made it clear that when the time comes, the newcomers had better be ready. Earlier in the night, during a backstage segment, Nick Aldis noted that big things could be on the horizon for the pair, adding to the speculation that this could be the beginning of a soft call-up. For now, Zarya and Ruca continue to appear in NXT, but the signs are pointing toward a permanent move to SmackDown in the near future. The latest Solo Sikoa vignette aired on SmackDown, this time shining the spotlight on Tala Tonga. Solo pushed Tala to dig deeper and unleash the monster within, but admitted something is still missing. That comment has fans buzzing that another MFT member could be on the way. With Tama Tonga still sidelined by injury, he remains the most likely candidate, but WWE could just as easily use this moment to introduce a brand new name into the faction. Are you expecting Tama Tonga to be the missing piece of Solo's family tree, or could WWE surprise us with someone new altogether? Adding to the speculation, Tama Tonga has been trending online for a completely different reason. His Cameo page has gone viral after fans discovered he's charging a jaw-dropping $10,000 for personalized videos, promising delivery within 24 hours. The hefty price tag has stirred plenty of debate, with some fans stunned, while others see it as a power move from a star tied to one of wrestling's hottest storylines. Whether he returns to the MFTs soon or not, Tama Tonga has certainly kept his name in the headlines. Between Solo's cryptic words and Tonga's cameo buzz, the anticipation around the next MFT twist is only growing. Next week's SmackDown is already shaping up to be a major show with the tag team titles on the line. The Street Profits will challenge the Wyatt Six, but questions continue to linger about whether Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins are truly on the same page. Tonight, the Wyatt Six sent their warning, with Eric Rowan taking the spotlight in a chilling video. Uncle Howdy was notably absent, but Rowan's message was crystal clear: "From my family to yours, heed the warning, run." The Street Profits responded with positivity, yet their body language told another story, suggesting the mind games are taking hold. Whether they walk out as champions or implode remains the looming question. Uncle Howdy's absence remains a mystery. He hasn't been seen in weeks, sparking concern over Bo Dallas's status. The hope is that he's simply taking time away, but fans remember how WWE previously halted the Wyatt Six's momentum when Howdy was sidelined last year. Tonight, however, proved that others in the group, Rowan, Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, and Nikki Cross, can carry the message while Howdy stays in the shadows, ready for a dramatic return when the time is right. Backstage on SmackDown, Nick Aldis had nothing but praise for Javon Evans, even hinting that the young star could be next in line for a main roster call-up. The moment was cut short when Los Garzas interrupted, leading to tensions that quickly spilled into the ring. What followed was a rematch of sorts as Evans teamed up with Rey Fenix to take on Angel and Humberto. Michael Cole reminded viewers that Los Garza had defeated this exact duo months ago, setting the stage for redemption. As expected, all four men leaned heavily into their high-flying arsenals, but the match wasn't just flips and dives. They mixed in hard strikes and more grounded offense, giving the contest balance and making every exchange feel meaningful. Javon Evans brought the chaos with a reckless suicide dive that even took out a cameraman at ringside. Angel and Humberto looked sharp throughout, getting a much-needed chance to showcase their skills after being overlooked in recent months. But when the dust settled, it was Fenix who closed the show, hitting a muscle buster to secure the win for his team. It was a strong outing all around, but the one lingering question remains: where is Santos Escobar? With Los Garzas getting more spotlight, has WWE quietly decided to move on without him, or is his absence setting up a bigger return down the line? What do you think? Please share your comments below. That's it for today, guys. How was SmackDown this week? Which segment stood out the most for you? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to join us again tomorrow at 9 a.m. for your daily dose of wrestling news.